Sacred Harmony, where we explore the soul in motion. Today's guest, Bhupinder Sandhu, isn't just a corporate mindfulness coach, he's a mental health trailblazer who has literally walked his talk. Over 1,000 miles across the UK, Bhupinder's footsteps have echoed the need for emotional resilience, mindfulness, and connection. From Parliament keynotes to BBC features, he's become a quiet force in humanizing mental health. Let's take a mindful step into his journey. Welcome to the show, Bhupinder. It's an honor to have you.
Hello, thank you, Ananya, for having me on your show.
Mhm. So, Bhupinder, you have walked hundreds of miles to spark conversations on mental health. What inspired you to turn walking into your message?
I'm a mindfulness coach, and I see these problems, mental health problems of stress, anxiety, burnout, addiction, growing daily on an exponential scale. And I love walking. So to start a conversation, you need a medium, right? It's fine to go into a corporate office and talk about mental health, but what about rest of the population? How you connect with them? So I love walking. So I thought, why not walk just to create this, to start the conversation? Because when you're walking, you, and especially when I walk a branded t-shirt where like, this is mental health awareness from London to Cardiff, wherever I've walked. So people see it, and then we start a basic conversation around mental health, and then people share their stories. I talk about importance of mental health. So this is the whole purpose of walking, because people, when you are in a free space, outdoor space, people are more relaxed when you are in a confined room, I think.
Absolutely. And that's amazing. What shifted internally for you during those long walks that a boardroom or stage couldn't offer?
Either like in when we're in a corporate environment, we don't open up that freely. It takes a lot of time to open up and share the true hidden problems. But when you're open, and especially when you are with the strangers, its irony is that when we are with the strangers, we open up much easily. And I think it's the space as well. I think when you're walking and you're in a different frame of mindset and you are by yourself, you're not crowded by too many people. So I think that's one of the key points. And what shifted in me is like, the stories, when you hear those raw stories from deep from the heart, without any filters, they move you, and they have moved me. That's why, like, after one walk, I'll keep doing another walk, and another walk. Since like 23, I've been walking. So this is my journey. I think there's too much to be done. The way the situation is out there, people are suffering.
Mm-hmm. And there's something beautifully symbolic about moving forward, step by step, as a metaphor for healing.
It it is, yeah, because movement is resembling the progress, right? If you're moving in the right direction, you can create a positive impact, positive progress. It's not just about the movement, it's a movement, step ahead in the right direction. We can be walking in circles, we will not get anywhere. But we just like create this momentum. And once we are out there, we can create many more stories and help more people. Because when you do these sort of walks, and when especially media picks you up, you can carry your message far beyond those limited office walls.
Mm-hmm. 100%. And you have supported thousands during the pandemic. What patterns did you see in how people handled mental strain, and how did mindfulness help?
COVID, it was tough time for everybody. Nobody knew what was happening. The uncertainty created that fear, and fear is a natural human emotion. And the common denominator among all those people I worked with during the lockdown in the COVID area was like they were scared because of the uncertainty. I think COVID was not the major factor of their fear. It was the uncertainty what's going to happen because there was no clarity. We were not getting, nobody was getting any clear picture what it is, what we are doing, and what we're going to do in the future. So, all those things. And mindfulness is, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is simple art of living in the present moment. You're not thinking about the past, you're not thinking about the future. You are just focused on the present moment. So when we learn to focus on the present, we start living in the present moment, we stop worrying about the future or stop thinking about the past. So that's, I think, the beauty of mindfulness practice. And it connects everybody because there's no religious aspect connected to it. It is universal, and we can have anybody in the group and we can talk about this mindfulness practice. People call it meditation, but I call it as a practice. And it connected so beautifully. It helped and it worked magically for many, many people.
Mm-hmm. Right. And did you notice the difference in cultural responses to mental health during that time?
Yeah, because everything, all our beliefs come from a cultural background, right? They are embedded into us, they are in our DNA. Some cultures were open to talk about the pressures, and some were very, very close to it. They were not so happy. They knew there is a problem. They were facing some issues, but they didn't know what they were facing, what they were going through. Was it a mental health issue? It was just like a situational issue, or it was just because of COVID. So there was no much clarity within certain cultures, but some cultures have very clear picture that COVID is happening, we are isolated, and it is affecting our mental health. So different cultures responding to the situation in different ways.
Mm-hmm. And it's eye opening how often silence and stigma show up differently around the world. But the need to be seen remains universal. So, how do you define mindfulness in your everyday life?
Mindfulness in everyday life can be related to anything you do. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is being present in the present moment, right here and now. Now, I'm talking to you. What is mindfulness in this concept, in this event, right? That I'm 100% focused on talking to you. I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm not looking out of the window and daydreaming while I'm talking to you and your audience. And it's all about me being present and talking to you without the judgment as well. The big factor in mindfulness is dropping the judgment because we human are born with that DNA, I would call it, of judging everything. We judge everything, no matter what it is, how simple it is, we are bound to judge things. So it can be like if you are just walking to your office or you're walking to a coffee shop, rather than enjoying the beauty around you, the nature around you, if you're lost, then you're not mindful. But when we are present with ourselves in the situation, I think life becomes much more beautiful.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And is it possible to be truly mindful in the chaos of modern work culture?
It is very possible, to be honest. I know life has become very hectic. We are running a race. Everybody's running a race. We get up in the morning, from the very second we get up to the very last minute we fall asleep. If we are not physically running, our mind is on a constant run, one thought after another, another after another. It's never ending. Our mind is running in all directions. But mindfulness is a beautiful tool that can help us be present in the present moment, no matter how busy life you have. You can practice mindfulness, you can be mindful of the situation, of the task you're doing, of the person you're talking to, or anything you're doing. You're running, you're walking, and it is 100% possible that in 21st century, in midst of all that chaos that's happening around us, all the running we're doing, we can be mindful.
That's a challenge so many face, balancing stillness with speed.
Most of us, it's not like many, it's I think it's the bigger biggest problem, biggest challenge we are facing in 21st century. That's why mental health problems are increasing, because we have not been trained to sit still with ourselves, with our emotions, with our feelings, with our thoughts. But if we start practicing mindfulness, all these things become part of our system. We learn to see our thoughts, we learn to see our emotions, we learn to see our feelings. And as soon as we stop seeing all these things in the present moment, that race, that drama, whatever is happening around us, drop for that particular moment when we are mindful. And it can be a big breather, even if it's 10 seconds of that mindful moment. It can be a breather. It's just like you are running a long race and you get those 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds to sit down and relax. And if we practice daily, these 20 seconds can be 2 minutes, and then it can be 20 minutes, it can be 2 hours, depending upon the practice. It's just like building a muscle. More you practice, the bigger the muscle gets, the stronger the muscle gets, and more we are able to carry.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. And how does walking itself act as a mental health tool?
Walking, when you're walking, your body releases certain chemicals and they help you relax. When you're walking, it's not just because your psychological health and your physical health are interrelated. When you change your posture, your psychological health also change, the mindset also change. You're getting more oxygen, the movement, right? All those happy chemicals that are being released because of walking help your nervous system to calm down. Your muscles are more relaxed and you are connecting with nature. And the connection with the nature itself, it has a healing effect on your mental health.
Mm-hmm. Right. And for someone new to this idea, how do they begin using movement as a form of meditation?
If you want to be like this concept of movement into your life for mindfulness, just focus on your steps. When your feet touches the ground, feel the flow, feel the texture or the hardness of the surface. If you're walking on the carpet, see how does it feel. If you're walking on the grass, see how does it feel. Just keep your focus on each step you take. Begin with that, then you can combine it with just looking around into the nature, looking into the sky, observing the clouds moving as they come and dissipate. Think of those clouds as your thoughts. You see a cloud, and at that particular time, see what's in your mind, what thoughts are coming. And as that cloud goes, disappears into the sky, let those thoughts also dissipate. Don't hold those thoughts. So basically, you can begin with a simple one step. Just focus on one step. See how does it feel.
Mm-hmm. No yoga mat, no apps, just breath, motion, and awareness. That's liberating.
Yeah. You can do it anyway. You don't need anything, right? Like yoga is good fine. All should do it. It's good for your physical health. But mindfulness, you can practice it anywhere. You're waiting for your bus, you're waiting for your train. Nobody's stopping you to focus on your breath. As you inhale, focus, and as you exhale, focus on your breath. Watch these few steps, and you will see the stress disappearing, the cloud of stress disappearing from your system, and your nervous system, are you feeling much more relaxed, and it's free. You don't have to pay anybody. You don't need that special time. So you can focus on your breath, take a couple of deep breaths, and that's it. You don't even have to change the pattern of your breathing. You can just simply focus on your breath, and you will feel that shift happening inside you.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. So, you have spoken to audiences from parliament to newsrooms. What's the one message you wish everyone truly heard when it comes to emotional resilience?
One message is that it's very simple. I've said it again and again. I will say again today as well. We need to learn to live in the present moment, because most of the time we are on autopilot. More than 50% of our mind, more than 50% of the time, we are either in the past or the future. So we are losing that much time. So we are not living to the fullest. Practice mindfulness, learn to live in the present moment, and start to drop the judgment about anything and everything. It will liberate you from most of the chaos or the drama happening inside your mind. It's not going to sort anything in the outer space, but it will definitely clear the clutter in your mind.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And if someone is listening who feels disconnected or numb, what's their first step to presence?
First thing to presence is acceptance. Accept that there is a problem, or accept that we are not in the present moment. Becoming aware of the problem, or the situation, or the feelings, or the thoughts that are not helpful to us, that's the very first step. Once we become aware, then we need a solution to be the present, to be in the present moment. And mindfulness, not just one practice. You can focus on anything. If you don't feel like focusing on your breath, you can focus on something that you seeing in front of you, right? You don't have to, or you can close your eyes and focus on the darkness you see. So that's the first step. Be aware and be willing to shift that shift.
Mm-hmm. And it's often not about fixing the whole system at once, but finding one moment of stillness inside the noise.
It's always been, I think it should always be like that. The first step and one step is more important and more helpful than taking 100 steps and not taking anything, any other step after that. So maybe taking 10 steps for 100 days is much better than having 100 steps on the day one and not walking any other distance after that. So we need to be, it's just like lifting weights. On the first day, you can't lift 20, 30, 40 kilos. And if you lift that much, I think you might even hurt yourself. So it's just lifting small weights and then building on it.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. So, Bhupinder, thank you for walking the talk, literally and metaphorically. And to our listeners, remember, healing doesn't have to be heroic. Sometimes it's just about pausing, listening, and taking the next right step. So, take a walk today, not to escape, but to arrive. This is Secret Harmony, and you are not alone on the path.